everybody. We're going to all receive energy work for our physical human brains, for our minds. And the focus is to clear brain fog. The focus is to clear our minds. The focus is to activate access to really profound, wonderful new ideas, and the motivation and courage, which probably is more like a heart energy, emotional energy, even sacral chakra energy, but the motivation and courage to follow through with some of these really great ideas, to wake up feeling bright and ready to embrace the day. So thank you for being a part of this experience with me. I'm going to relax, get tuned in. All you have to do is enjoy the message and allow this energy to be received. Allow it to flow in, no resistance. Yes, I do want to clear my mind. Yes, I do want to release brain fog of any and all kinds. Yes, I'm ready for profound new ideas and the courage and the motivation to follow through with those ideas, even if I don't know what the outcome is going to be. All right, so I'm going to relax, get tuned in. Here we go. All right. I'm walking into the mind. And this is so weird. It is glitchy. Like, I see a pattern of colors, and it's like blotching my vision of everything. So it lacks balance and clarity. This glitch also makes... So if I could say what I'm looking at is like a TV screen, and I want to see what's on TV, and it's all black right now, not a big deal, but there's this glitchy colored patch made out of weird cubes, okay? And it's like the size of a thumbprint, but then kind of enlarge it into my large TV screen here. I'm like in this space. And so this is just blotching out my eye, like my vision over here. And then the scene is just like kind of blinking, like it doesn't want to just be in a solid state. So this is what I'm being shown. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. I did not expect it to be this complex. So I'm gonna have the Arcturians come in here because they have really beautiful minds, all right? And I will say the profoundness of this place that I'm in is actually like, whoa, this is way bigger than myself, is the way that it makes me feel, which is great because it's inspiring me to open the door for friends to come and participate in the experience with all of us. So we're going to welcome the Arcturians and their beautiful minds to come and help to enlighten our minds, clear our brain fog, all that good stuff. This is not what I expected. The next thing is, it's like a bad dream where you feel exposed. A bad dream where you're doing number 2 on the toilet and 500 people are watching you. It's like a bad dream where you're naked and running away and something is following you and you're going nowhere. It's like that type of feeling right now, right inside the third eye, like deep in there, okay? And they're presenting this experience, and I feel that this whole mind space is covered in a thin dust. And they're like judge number 1, judge number 2, judge number 3. As I'm exposed to expressing these images from like bad dreams out here in front of them, and now they're here to judge me and my bad dreams in the state of being in a bad dream. That's the first thing we're called to do to heal this. So we don't judge that. We just let it happen and see what comes next. The Arcturians are showing me how when we have felt most vulnerable and most helpless, sometimes the words of other people have cut our minds like knives and razor blades. And they show me being very young when we are all very young, we are so open to learning and growing and advancing our minds. And when we perceive interactions as hurting us, it's putting little razor blades or knife cuts into our brain. And they're talking about where our dreams come from, and dreams where we feel helpless, or we feel embarrassed, or we feel ashamed, or we feel trapped in an experience we want to get out of and we cannot. And then we are judging ourselves as well as feeling judged by others. And these dreams can be part of these childhood memories, trying to repair those parts of our mind. And when you expose yourself to a very loud event of a memory where you're sort of stepping back into it and you feel it and experience on all sides where you're most vulnerable in the moment, it's from that point that you're in the cut itself and can finally start to heal it. So they're going to help us heal as many of these cuts in our brain as we can allow ourselves to receive today, okay? They're reminding us how all good things need space. So let's say you have a beautiful friend or family member come to visit, and you're just so ridiculously happy to have this time with them, you miss them. But then they have to leave and go back to their homes or maybe another state, and you're back to the old routine again. But you know that the exchange, while it was short or maybe not as long as you wanted it to be, was everything you needed at the time. And you're just going to work with the healing that came and then move into the next flow. So when we want to heal, part of healing is processing, digesting, and opening up to the next level of receiving healing. So for us to heal every single thing, part of our dynamic as human beings is to heal some, interact with the healing, participate in being open to more healing. And it's like we like to take things in intervals and steps. Like with dating, they're saying sometimes we just know that this is the one. However, the other might not feel the same way. And so it takes dates and baby steps to get to know each other, feel safe with each other, in order to allow the relationship to blossom into the next level of itself. In our human world, this is a natural process and flow as to how we learn and grow. And so in our minds, our brains, we're going to do all the repairing as is appropriate for each and every one of us, and based on what we are ready to receive. So we've all stood here in front of the Arcturians, and we've all sort of spewed out our worst dreams ever, which are just trying to help us heal the cuts in our brains, which are trying to reach the inner child memories, which are then being judged by the Arcturians, who aren't judging us at all. We're just judging ourselves for feeling vulnerable in the memory as we are working on releasing and healing it. Now I see another scene. They say that space is still in process, is still happening, but they want to add to it through another, like the next channel, okay? So they show me an Arcturian woman, and she has blue skin. She has no hair on her body, and she has red lipstick on, which is, I've never seen an Arcturian woman with red lipstick on. And she has legit makeup on. It's just the oddest thing. I've just never seen an Arcturian woman with makeup on. She's letting the sun shine on her face, and she feels beautiful. And she says it's not the makeup that makes her feel beautiful. It's just life. It's just being. And she just likes the makeup because she likes being creative. And she likes the way the sun touches her face, and she feels beautiful today. She says it's very easy to allow yourself to feel beautiful. There's nothing in the way of allowing yourself to feel beautiful, to feel ravishing. There's nothing in the way. Allow yourself to love who you are. Your beautiful face, your beautiful body. She's saying this in our inner minds. She's sharing this image with us in our inner minds. And she's welcoming us to be open to good dreams. Good dreams where we feel beautiful. Where we are allowing ourselves to feel successful, the best we've ever been, cherished and loved by others. There's so many feelings. What are the words for them all? It's just that good feeling, you know? A good feeling that you feel good about who you are because there's no reason otherwise. She's like, drink this up. Drink up these good feelings about yourself. Drink it up. Drink it up. She shows me if sunshine could be a drink, and she has it in a glass. And I will say, you know, mercury is like this liquid metal, and this drink is got this metallic sheen to it. It's not a metal, it looks more like a milk with a metallic shine, but it's really solid like that. And then it's kind of I guess a very pale pink with some orange just kind of mixed in there, so it's like a peachish color. But it's very lightweight, very lightweight. So I'm gonna drink up the feeling of a sunny day where I feel beautiful in this energy liquid that she's providing us. What's interesting is I put it to my lips, I see it entering into my mind and filling in all the cracks and crevices of the deeper mind that may have been harmed by these razor blades, knives. And I say, ow, ow, ah, ow. like this. I can feel like alcohol on the cut, like, ow, ouch, that hurts. When she smiles, she says that healing can hurt. And it's almost like that pain, it lets us know it's being cleansed, it's being nurtured and healed. What caused it was hurt itself. What's healing it is reminding us of the hurt. The hurt is mending. And we don't need to relive it anymore. We don't need to relive the hurt. Now that it's healing, it's done. Nothing to relive here. She wants each and every one of us to express something, a memory, even if we feel we've moved on from it. Sometimes it just, we're reminded of it in the weirdest times in our life. Why am I thinking about this again? I'm so past all of that, but yet it still lingers there, this memory. Is there anything in your life that comes to you right away as a real hurt that would have been like putting some knife wounds or some cuts into your brain? And maybe it's those cuts that you're feeling in the memory coming back or returning to you, that we can heal it now. And we don't have to have that come back. we can move forward from it, and it's healed, so it doesn't need to revolve back around like the earth revolving around the sun. Like it can be cleaned and nurtured and released. So I'm thinking myself of something, just a big, I guess you could say, years of a process that's like one of the major events of my life, but it could be years long major event, and it might not even be over yet, you know what I mean? But all the ways that going through that experience made you feel like you weren't enough, or your voice didn't matter, or there was loss or lack or devastation or anguish or whatever it might be, desecration of your divine feminine or divine masculine, some sort of ugliness in this process that made you feel so much lack. So I'm thinking of something I'm going to present to her, and whether you know what she looks like or you could imagine what she looks like, she can just be a smudge, but the intention is what matters here. A beautiful female Arcturian who loves us and wants to help. I give her all this pain, this very specific timeline. And it's weird because what I hand to her actually looks like someone took some scissors, and it looks like old clothes that somebody took some scissors and just cut into it and snagged it and ripped it, and it's just a mess. And now I become a strange geometric shape, and I become a bit glitchy, and I'm different colors, and I'm kind of glitching, like moving back and forth and disappearing and coming back again, and I kind of shaking. So what's happening here, she says, is once we hand her dirty laundry, apparently, over to her, what they're going to help us do in our minds is to completely relive with love and support all the pain, and that we have every right to wail, to scream, to cry, to be enraged, to feel lack, to feel any emotions at any volume we want to express it. And that glitchy is this me going through, I'm changing my shape, like I'm just being like another shape and another shape, as apparently I'm communicating in different emotional expressions about the many wounds that I endured from this. And I am stating I am ready to heal this completely. Heal this, how it impacted my human brain. And it's so crazy because in this glitchy, I see coming straight out of the center of my head, which is going to be the same for all of us because we're going through a major release, she says, of even what could be described as an old pattern that we fell into when we're playing out a role, and we're growing out of that pattern and knowing that we aren't the same person that chose that experience. We are wiser and having new experiences now. We don't need to repeat over and over and over and over and over again the same torment. And what's coming out of the top of my head looks like, you guys know the firework that's like the snake, and it's like this little black coin, and then you light it and then it grows, this big snake comes out. It looks like this big ashy hardened snake coming out the top of my head. And this is releasing, okay? It's interesting because it seemed to have taken on a mind of its own, like I've never thought of this before. This is gonna blow your guys' mind. All right, we go through these really complex learning that can hurt. We've already gone over about the knives in the brain. Now, what inspired that to take place? What was the influence? It was pain all along. So let's say one person influences us and they make us feel vulnerable, and then we get cut by this pain. But the insecurities inside of us are pain as well, that allows that pain and that action to take place in a way we are worthy of this pain. Now we are a part of this pain too. So the pain is like an infection. It goes from one person to the next person to the next person. What if the consciousness of pain itself was trying to be born as a creation here on earth? And as an infection was trying to become something more than itself as an energy, but become an actual materialized being. So as I see this coming out of my brain, I see the dream of pain to become a materialized being, to actually live an individual life experience like each individual human, but does not want to do it as part of each and every one of us, live through us. It's like it needs us to be the host of it. Doesn't want to just live through us as a collective, wants to get out of the host and become its own materialized form. And for now, we keep pain under wraps, but then we suffer. And I say, my gosh, who am I to say that pain doesn't deserve to incarnate and experience life learning? Anybody would say, no, you do not need pain. But it's this inconceivable reality that consciousness itself is beautiful in all of its forms because of how it impacts us to become more profound as we grow with each other. Whether we like that or we don't like that isn't of consequence. It's the gift of the growth itself. But this Arcturian woman says, she shakes her head and she says, if pain is meant to be an individual, then that will materialize. It's not materialized into an individual. And it's like let the balance be as it is and don't worry about it. Kind of like this. As the first time I ever heard that, even had that idea come to me. Is this the ideas I'm talking about? The brain, clearing the brain fog and the profound ideas coming through? That's new. So what she says I'm releasing is everything is healing inside of us, in our minds. And we've gone through this profound transformation, changing into these different geometric shapes as we're glitching and screaming and crying and with our Arcturian friends. And then it's releasing the residue that built up from the exchange with pain. And we don't need that pain in our minds anymore. So we are clearing it from our minds. And that is the most essential pain we can clear today. And she's saying, watch the video again anytime you have vulnerabilities of the mind, and it will get you in direct contact with us without question to clear out the next thing that you want to clear out of your mind, out of your physical brain, and give you access to greater clarity and the courage to follow through with an action. And she's reminding us that when we have the courage to stand before the judges of the Arcturians, for instance, to release our dreams that have been tormenting us, to heal the pain, right? And release the residue of the pain, we can conquer anything. We can do anything. It's to show us what we are capable of. When we shift that inside of our minds, which is inside of our energy field, it adapts our energy field to a new pattern of self-confidence And we'll find ourselves taking action in ways that we aren't used to seeing ourselves doing that. So let yourself be pleasantly surprised as you see yourself accomplishing something that may have taken some time and preparation to do it. You just snap the fingers and it's done. She thanks us so much, and all of them do, for letting them help us, because this is what she's echoing. If we ask for their help, they can help us. If we don't ask for their help, it's like there's a line they don't cross. They will not help unless we specifically ask for it. There's something that they're emanating about that. They're all loving, benevolent, beautiful, and masters of the mind. So thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you, Arcturians, so much for being a part of this. I hope you find it empowering and helpful, this brain clearing. Have a very marvelous rest of your day.